Hi everybody, I'm Sandy.
And I'm Debbie.
We're
from the Normal Paranormal Group. And today
we're telling one story at a time. And this story is going to be called
The Record Player. And we have to share this together because we experienced this together. And this was in our haunted house in Chicago and in our haunted attic.
And we were teenagers.
Yes, this is like the middle part or the ending part of the 1960s.
And in this room, we all had record players, the 45s.
Yes. Today's kids wouldn't know what they were because back then everything had to be done manually. There was no remote controls, there was no Wi-Fi, there was no buttons to push. Everything was done manually.
Yes, and we'll tell you about the attic. We slept in the attic. Debbie and I painted it, and we put beads all over the wall. I mean, hangings. That was the time you had beads and
this was the
psychedelic things going on.
Yeah, we tried to make it less scary,
right?
Because it was a raw attic. It still had the wooden beams, and this one beam that went past. Allegedly, a man hung himself there, and nothing was done the whole time we lived there. But, we started, because it's in the 60s, and we're all listening to Bobby Sherman and David Cassidy,
right.
the Beatles, the Monkees,
the Who, all that.
All that. And so we're going, that's a time of peace,
That's right. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Love makes the world go around. And that's what we did, psychedelic painting on the beams, writing that stuff down. We hung up our posters like typical teenagers would. And it gave us a certain calmness about the area, the space. And we did hang up our beads across the beams and
posters.
Yeah. So, and we would go upstairs and play our music.
And with that, we're going to talk about the record player.
Yes. Okay. Okay, now to continue with our story. These are with 45 record players. They were small. And you had to buy these things to put in the middle because they were round. See? They went into the middle. And then you would have to lift the arm up and put it on the record player. Put some joy in the world. And to stop it, you had to lift it up and put it back. Okay? So, and it had this is called the cradle, and it has a lock. It's somewhere here. It's my eyesight. Okay, there it is. I did lock it. All right. So Sandy and I were talking, and the house was empty, and then we heard music. So we looked through the house, and we went up the stairs, and there was the record player playing. And so we thought maybe one of our sisters were hiding, playing a trick on us. So I took the arm off, and I turned it off, because everything was manual. So anyways, we started looking through the rooms and everything else, and no one was in the house with us. And we went back down the stairs in the kitchen, and then we heard music playing again. And we looked at each other and we crept up the stairs, looked into the attic, walked into the bedroom, and there it was, just playing. So I went over, I picked up the arm, and I put it there, and I locked it. And so we just shook our heads, and we went down the stairs. So, the third time, we're talking, it's quiet, and then the record player goes off, and we're really tense at this time. We're really walking slowly and quietly as we could walk up the stairs. We held on to each other and peeked around the chimney, peeked into the bedroom, and there was the record player playing. It was just playing. So this time I walked over, I put it here in the cradle, I locked it, and this time I unplugged it. Okay, so we went down the stairs, and there's no way this is going to turn on because it's not plugged in. So we're in the kitchen, and then all of a sudden, we heard this again. And we were so petrified, we both ran out of the house, the front door, and we sat on the front stairs and waited for our parents to come home. And as soon as they came home, we both go scurrying over to the car. Mom, Dad, that record player's going off by itself. We unplugged it. And it's your imagination. How could it be both our imaginations? It happened to both of us. And she didn't say anything more. My dad didn't say anything more. And it just went unacknowledged by our parents. But my mother knew, our mother knew, this house was haunted. So this was one of the rare occasions that the record player played. So until our next one story at a time.
This is Sandy.
And this is Debbie.
From the Normal Paranormal Group. Just a little pause. Until next time.
3 times the charm.
3 times the charm. Until our next story.
Our next story.